Hello and welcome to the show. This is the Bleed Show, the show about advertising and more, with myself, Whyte. And as the payoff line suggests, we're going to be talking about advertising. Now, why are we going to be talking about advertising? Advertising is something that people famously dislike. You know, people install ad blockers, they complain about ads. So why is this a good idea? Well, two reasons. The first reason is I studied advertising. I studied visual communication and I specialized in graphic design. And the second reason is it's a good excuse to get some creative peeps around a mic and have a good time. You know, share some stories, have some jokes, and hopefully create entertainment and possibly education for others. So yes, that's what the show's about. And on this latest episode, we had Kholisile Zwane on the show. Kholi is an art director, graphic designer, illustrator, just a multi-talented guy. And as always, we had Jacque Moodley on the show, and he is, also an art director, graphic designer, beat maker, MC, lyricist, music producer, the list goes on. And the three of us sat down, we had a conversation, and without any further delays, this is that exact conversation I'm talking about. So enjoy the show. Okay, hello and welcome to Bleed. This is the show about advertising and more with myself, Whyte. We've got Jacque Moodley in the house.
What's up, what's up?
And we've got Kholisile Zwane in the house.
Sir.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, pleasure, man. Thanks for coming. So, why are we doing a podcast? Especially about advertising.
Can I just fix your shirt?
Yeah, please, man. Thank you. Wardrobe.
There we go.
So we've got... So advertising, they've developed software for blocking ads, right? Why do we think this? I say we. Why do I think? And Jacques, why do we think this is a good idea? Like, why are people going to gravitate towards a podcast about advertising? Because, you know, there's software out there that's like, we don't want advertising. So why is this a good idea, bro?
Because people think Mad Men and Generations are the only portrayals of advertising that are real. Here's a real portrayal. I think that's the selling point. That's my USP.
Okay. Well, for me, like, I just want to get you guys in a room and hang out with you and get drunk and, you know. So it's an excuse to hang out.
So personally, I quite like this idea because there's a lot of stuff that we can talk about, you know, in terms of the ad space, you know, based on our experience, you know, the years, the late nights, you know, the pressure that comes with all that stuff, you know, the often depression that sort of happens, you know, that designers don't talk about necessarily, type of thing. You know? So I think this is quite a nice space to say, listen, dudes, we feel your pain, you know, we've done this stuff and we live this stuff every day.
We've bled.
And we still are bleeding. You know,
so this is therapy for you, bro.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, it's, you know, you can help people that have not experienced certain things, you know, avoid certain things because you've experienced it, type of thing, you know. Cool. And I don't think people talk about that stuff enough. Yeah. So I think this is a great platform, and let's just, you know, share our experiences in our different spaces and our learnings, and so.
Nice.
I'm sold.
I thought you didn't prepare, bro.
Hey, bro.
Tap dancing already.
No, man, I'm speaking from the mind.
From the lion's heart, bro. And then secondly, like, why is the show called Bleed? For, you know, the people that aren't into advertising, they won't know what Bleed is. So why is it called Bleed? Jacque?
I think you know why it's called Bleed.
I know, bro.
You're good at answering this. Because you came up with the rationale.
Okay, you get crop marks, you trim it off so that the artwork is flush. Okay, done. advertising lecturer used to say, eat, sleep, breathe advertising. He had that written on his wall in
Okay.
chalk.
Cool.
And I thought, let's just add bleed, because it's like eat, sleep, breathe. You also bleed,
Ah, nice.
right? So
Nice.
clever concept, packaged nicely.
Mm.
There's actually an extra reason
Oh,
which you don't know about, right? And you do know about. Obviously, we had Morisana that we used to work with.
Yes!
And
yes.
he used to call everyone Blood because he was like from Camden
Yes.
in London or something.
Makes perfect sense. East LA.
He's like, all right, blood. He used to call us, he used to call us Blood.
Yeah.
And then we decided to, so I called him Bleed because he was calling me
I
Blood.
remember.
And then he was like, what's up, Bleed? And then he always used to call me Bleed. Then we formed a WhatsApp group and we called that Bloods.
Yeah, the
Right?
bloods.
So there's a little bit of, we're paying homage to that old
Yeah.
WhatsApp group. Shout out to Promise
Dude,
and the lads.
promise. Promise.
Okay, so now we've done all of that housekeeping. We know what the concept is. We know why we're talking about this stuff. Then the first question is, when did you discover that you were a creative guy and you wanted to pursue a creative career?
So basically for me, it's always been something that I've done as a kid type of thing. So just to go way back, way back. When my parents, it's going to sound a little bit off, but anyway, when my parents split, we moved to Germiston type of thing. And then my dad moved elsewhere. So it was just me and my mom basically. And then she started building the house and all that kind of stuff, you know. So actually we were living in a house that was like being built as we were living there.
Sure.
Yeah, no power, you know, go to school, people talk about TV and shit like that. And I'm like, hey guys, we don't have electricity. Fuck.
Crazy.
Y'all are talking about Mnet. Back in the Mnet days, you know.
Generation.
You know what I mean? That kind of stuff, you know. So anyway, long story short, that's when I started making stuff. You know, my mom was a secretary, so she had like access to a lot of paper, dude. Like she would just be on some, my kid, I don't have money to buy you toys and all that kind of crazy stuff. You can see what we're building and whatnot, you know. So funds are limited, you know, and whatnot. And I'm like, okay, cool. So she's like, here's some paper, here's a pencil, do something, you know, make stuff, whatever. And I ran with it, dude. I used to make so many things, you know.
Yeah.
And I also didn't hang around with people a lot because like we had moved into this suburb and, you know, there were a whole lot of like, you know, like people that didn't like us, you know, races and all that. Not going to get into that stuff. But anyway, so cool. I was basically alone the whole time, most of the time, you know. And then I made stuff, you know. I'd make helicopters, you know, get like, you know, like there used to be these like fans, these battery powered fans and whatnot. So I'd used to like disassemble that thing, you know, get the generator inside, you know, that thing that makes whatever spin,
Yeah.
you know, hoy that into my helicopter model, you know, put flaps on it, you know, power it on, you know, and like, mom, check, I made a helicopter type of thing, you know. And it was like, you know, it was like vibing and stuff like that. So I started then making stuff just with my hands and whatever was in front of me type of thing, you know. And that sort of like carried through, you know, throughout high school. And I went to a technical school. Did technical drawing. I was very good at it and whatnot, this and that. But the problem is like a technical school is basically focused on producing engineers, bricklayers, welders, you know, electricians. You know, I studied electricity. I went into the electricity field. You know, we used to connect stuff and this and this and that.
Circuit boards and all that shit.
Yes, exactly. Yes, 100%. So yeah, connect stuff, you know, did well in that. And then, you know, there was this idea that everyone that comes from the school must be an engineer or something like that, you know. It's a technical school.
Yeah.
That's what they produce. But I'd find myself drawing the whole time, you know, like, like, nah, guys, that's boring, bro. Circuit boards and stuff, like, you know, I used to steal myself, you know, just draw, bro. Maths, I was horrible at that shit.
I think all of us.
That's a common theme.
Yeah, there's this common theme
Suck
of
at maths.
creatives. Yeah, it should actually be a thing. Do you suck at maths?
Then we
Yes,
got
I
the
do.
career for you.
Triple A's payoff line.
It's good.
100%, 100. So anyway, after high school, I think that's when my mom passed on. But then she was like, because she was a secretary at Wits and all that kind of stuff, there were benefits and whatnot. So I could get like education money and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, got the cash, started, bought my first MacBook Pro, made the mistake of not insuring it.
Shit.
And it was
Oh,
jacked
God.
3 weeks later.
Oh, sorry.
We know that pain.
Dude, like I've always wanted to have a MacBook Pro. I always thought that this thing would take my work to the next level, type of thing.
Yeah.
I've been quite naive for a long time, actually. Thinking that the tools make you, but actually no. The tools are just secondary. You know, whether they're expensive, whether they're cheap, actually on that, I'm just gonna go off track a little bit. I make most of my money from my cheapest gadget type of thing.
Yeah.
I got a basic iPad with a voucher I got and a farewell and a promised farewell.
Oh.
I went to Apple, got my iPad, got the pencil and whatnot, and then I just started going from there. Until today,
and all that.
till today I still use that. I've got expensive equipment and all that kind of crazy stuff, but I spend more time on my cheapest gadget type of thing, Yeah, so anyway, that's basically how it started and whatnot. And then there was college, obviously. Even at college, I was doing the same thing, like off script, make my own thing, show it to the class, present it to the class and hear what they say.
Which college was this?
I went to Rosebank College. Yeah. So cool. Art projects were my thing. Like I used to excel at that stuff type of thing, and get like proper marks and all that kind of stuff. And everyone was just like talented in their own space. And I used to be jealous of other people, back in the graffiti times. Remember that stuff? There were people I went to school with that were excellent at that stuff. And they would just like bomb the wall, get hoy. And I was like, shit, I wish I could do that. There were people that were good with oils, painting with oils, some fucking Picasso shit. And I'm like, nah, fam, this is crazy, And I felt like I can't match up to that level and all that kind of stuff. But, I pushed on, with whatever I had. And actually, to tell you the story, I was called the teacher's pet, and I hated it. I hated that. So fortunately, my teacher back then, my art teacher back then, she lived close to my hood type of thing, in the burbs, in the surrounding burbs and whatnot. So towards the end of the college cycle, she was like, hey, listen, dude, I've got a proposition for you.
So?
Mrs. Robinson, you're trying to seduce me.
You're so good at art and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Anyway, she's like, I would like you to come freelance for me, just so you can get some experience.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. It's also cool that she was sexy as fuck. She was hot.
Helps.
Yo. Anyway.
We'll leave that in.
Drop names?
Nah, fam. No names policy.
Don't break up a happy home now. She's like, damn, I had a chance. She didn't know.
Instagram handle at
Dude.
Slide in the DM.
So anyway, that job was quite interesting. It didn't pay a lot, but it was interesting. Like she used to teach people art and graphic design type of thing. All sorts of people, but like weird, hectic artists with galleries and all that kind of stuff, people from Germany, whatever, all sorts. I've seen all sorts of crazy, weird art and whatnot, But yeah, she told me to teach these people freehand. Remember freehand?
Macromedia. Freehand.
Macromedia.
11.
Yes. Yes, distiller,
Yeah.
bruh.
Dot
Oh,
FH11.
man. Oh, dude.
Bringing back pain.
Dude, that pain of having to distill your file before you make it a PDF.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
The thing is with that program, it never crashed though.
It didn't crash.
It crashed a
It
lot.
didn't crash.
It crashed a lot.
No, I'm actually thinking about it. It's the same thing as media encoder type of thing.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's like the modern day version of media encoder. You
Yes.
have to go through media encoder in order for you
get your
to...
file.
But just for a still file though. Come on.
Dude! A PDF! And it would take forever. And then you make a mistake on the
Yeah.
one page. Like, oh.
Gotta go back.
Let's not bring up Quark.
Nah,
Never
I've never touched Quark.
Yeah.
I've heard about it and like, you know, but I've never, you know,
Yeah.
Coral Draw, bruh.
Coral Draw.
Yo, dude. So anyway.
We had some lecturers, they brought up Letraset.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
that sounds
Where
scary.
you had to manually take the
It sounds
blocks
dangerous.
of type.
What is that?
Oh, it's like setting the type, right? It's
Yeah.
learning how to coon.
Yeah,
No.
no, but I mean that's how they made their posters and stuff. They had to set it up with like individual blocks.
Oh my god.
And like that's what our lecturer used to like tell us, like, yo, you guys got it easy. You got like
easy, yeah.
gouache and like
Oh my
ink
God.
and whatever.
That's horrible.
In my day.
Back in my day.
Now when we talk. But anyways, when we grow up.
Back in my day. I pull that card every now and then, bro. Especially with these young designers.
We
Stop
had a
being
telephone
lazy.
that plugged into the wall.
Yeah.
There was no free vector site. You had to draw it.
Yeah.
From scratch.
No vector easy.
Hey, dude. So yeah, anyway, that was like my first gig. You know, and then I got a bit of experience, and then fortunately I started freelancing my last year of college and stuff, you know. I would go to banks, there would be some people that would be interested in my work and so on. And that's how I landed my first job, basically. And that's actually where I got exposed to someone that was using Cinema 4D.
Oh, okay.
And that's when I started getting into the 3D space. And
Yeah.
like, oh, what's this? Like, yo, this guy used to buy those expensive magazines. Remember those?
Computer arts projects.
Computer
bro.
Arts Project, brah. Remember those?
Yeah.
Very expensive at the time.
But the reason I asked that is because it sounded like your college had multidisciplinary guys. Because when we studied, you could choose art direction, design, copywriting, marketing.
That's it.
We couldn't do painting and any of that stuff. So your college sounds like it was like
You had exposure to a lot more.
Yeah. So it was basically a whole lot of different things, and then it's like throwing a lot of things and seeing what sticks, basically. What you gravitate towards, type of thing. You know?
That's cool.
And then I gravitated towards obviously the design space,
And that's when the graffiti artists were jealous of you. They were like, check this guy.
I was jealous of them. Back then, when we thought graffiti was like a job, or I don't know, it was weird, man.
I remember there was a documentary I watched. There were these Cape Town artists called Mantis, I think Sky 189. And I remember seeing that documentary also like around high school. When I was
Yeah.
And I tried to like bomb walls at school. I was so shit.
Stickers.
I was so bad. No, I did. I made stencils. I think
Stencils.
our crew's name was Cynics, right? With CYNIX. I was in a rap group.
Oh,
So it was
nice.
Cynics. It was CYNIX.
Love it.
I drove past like years later, man. It's still at my high school. Like I shot a
Really?
music video right there, so you can cut to like Cynics.
Yo,
But I cut
that's
a
so
stencil.
cool.
I thought it was so sick, bro. But I think that's also led me a little bit into design because I remember the graffiti artists. And I was like, "But these guys are cool, illustrating." And then I was like,
it was mad. There was a whole culture of that and hip hop, you know,
"Yeah,
and the whole thing, like hip hop, especially local hip hop at the time, was starting to find its feet. And you know, there were like ciphers, there were battles, and graffiti was just, you know, the look of that whole thing,
exactly, yeah."
and movement and whatnot.
It's like Optical Ill and Proverb. And
100%.
yeah.
I still listen to those guys
Yeah, I know those
even
guys.
today. Like, you know, just
Golden from the Shoulder. Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
those guys. Right.
Oh man.
Yeah, but yeah, you know, like from then, job after job. At first it was shitty. The money wasn't great.
Yeah.
I was working for taxi money, basically. You know. Oh, actually, I'm lying. I had a car. Let me stop.
We'll edit the car part out. Just to make it more dramatic.
Okay, just to add a bit of...
I'm going to guess Taz. I want to say Taz.
Yes, a Taz. I had a Taz.
You seem like a Taz guy.
Yeah.
I was a golf guy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I found
Honda.
golf to be too hard though inside.
I don't know, man. When you
Taz
drove
was
a golf,
like-
it felt like you were driving, eh?
That was a cool car.
That
was a cool car.
Turn the steering wheel because I had 17s on, obviously. So it was hard to turn, but it turned heads. VW, pay me.
What? V-Dub holding it down on the engineering tip, y'all. Yeah.
I like that.
I like how we all have our stereotype cars. You got the Corolla.
Dude.
You got the Golf. I got the Honda, the Log.
Of course you have the
Oh yes!
I remember this guy. So let me tell you about Ryan quickly, so to jump in. But how I met Ryan is because I saw a Honda Ballade at college, and I was like, "Fuck, man, Fast and Furious was popping."
Yeah,
and I was like, "Oh man, if I had a Honda
for
Ballade,
sure.
the shit I would do to it." And I kept seeing him, and every week nothing was modified on the car. Not a spoiler,
No.
not a neon,
Nope.
not even a 15-inch. And I was
Nope.
like, "This guy."
That's not right.
And then he still didn't know me. Only when we met at FCB Hello Computer.
I was like, "You're the guy with the Ballade."
And then I was like, so you put a car to the face. So, anyways, you said it wasn't quite happening.
Yeah, you're getting money for tax. Well, Taz money.
Yeah, it has money and
gotcha.
stuff, you know.
That shit was
like-
light on fuel, so you're right.
Yeah, but like, you know, it kind of sucked that like, that's it. That's all my money does. That. You know, petroleum. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, like, missioned, you know, in and out of jobs, made bad decisions, you know, like, you know, sometimes you get to a space in your career where you get offered something that looks so cool on the outside, you know, like the life, like, yeah, if I can be in this space, you know. Meanwhile, it's not really true type of thing, you know, like you have to take a step back sometimes and do your homework. You know, if you get a nice offer, you know, step back a little bit and see what the company is actually about. Get to know it a little bit more before you jump in, type of thing.
Yeah, no.
So yeah, lost
Any stories in
jobs.
specific?
Hey, dude, I made a horrible decision the one time. Like, I resigned without signing an offer, type of thing. You know. So yeah, resigned. Cool. It was awkward at the workplace. The boss was disappointed and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, I resigned, and then on the other end, where I was supposed to get this amazing offer, I never got it.
Fell through.
Yeah. You know, so I was out of a job.
Yeah.
And that kind of sucked. Like, but I don't know, for some weird reason, I don't stay outside of work for a long time.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know, something just happens, and you know, I find myself waking up Monday morning on some flip. I need to go to work. So I think one of the good things that happened was promise, actually, because I was pushed so hard there. We were all pushed so hard. I met you there though.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's where we met.
Yeah, like promise was very good in the sense that I got exposed to a lot of different cultures and different, you know, groups and stuff like that.
How many years were you in the industry by the time you got there?
Ooh, I don't know, dude.
Like
Probably
still
around
junior,
5, 6.
like
I was still junior.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe about 3, 4 years? 4 years, 5. Somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere there, yeah. I was still very, you know, that raw talent, that crazy, you know, doing whatever type of thing, because I used to spend a lot of time, like, when I finally got a computer, that's all I ever did, like, all of the 3D and stuff that I learned, and how I discovered Blender. I'm actually a Blender person.
Okay.
You know, I actually discovered it, like, from a video game magazine. There was this magazine called New Age Gaming.
Nag.
Yeah, I remember that.
Nag.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they had like you would
Blender like a Maya or something.
yeah, it's a 3D software, but it's free. That's the nice part about it, yeah. So anyway, they had the CD. Remember when you bought magazines, they would come with CDs.
Like
Put in the CD-ROM.
Yeah, hype. Yeah, CD-ROM vibes. So they had like a tutorial on how to like model your face and all that kind of stuff, and that's when the 3D journey started and whatnot, you know. So like, yeah, I had all the stuff in my portfolio when I went to Promise, you know, like that raw stuff, and like, you know, my creative director at the time, or soon to be creative director, was looking at my portfolio like this. I'm like, jeez, dude. yeah, cool. See. And that was when I met Mark for the first time. Yeah, James was cool. He was too happy. And it's weird, there was no black person at the agency time.
Well, you mentioned you were exposed to a bunch of
cultures.
New cultures, and I remember you said to me, it was like, dude, I don't want this to sound weird.
And it sounded weird. Listen.
It sounded a bit weird. And you were like, but you're the first Chinese person I've ever met and spoken to. And then I started feeling bad because I had to break the news to you. You're like, dude, you should be half excited about this.
It's not the whole thing.
And you thought he was going to teach you some like Jet Li shit.
Yeah, you thought you were disappointed. I remember. I could see it.
Like I was disappointed about his ballad.
Damn.
The ballad.
Yeah, if you were full Asian, bro, that ballad would have been
dude.
But neons, everything.
Yeah, bro, drop it. You know, hoy some rims there, spinners. You know, lights, all that kind of crazy stuff. So anyway, Promise was really good. You know, I got exposed to a lot of things. But the most important thing that I think I got exposed to was genuinely nice people. You know? Like that for me trumps everything. You know? Just being nice, being a good person.
You're talking about Darren and Gail.
I'm talking about Gail. There's this guy named Ryan. We used to call him Chinese.
Chinese Ryan.
Chinese
Ryan.
Yeah, like
sometimes Ryanese. This is all getting edited out.
You know, so yeah, like, you know, I met nice people, Julia's, you know, extremely nice people and humble people.
The Jorans of this world.
The Jorans of this world. And they taught me so much stuff, you know. And I still carry that today, type of thing, you know. Like, for me, being nice is number one and everything else comes after. Like, you know, the money can come after and whatnot, but just being a genuinely nice and open person is what I strive for, you know. Even when the money comes and the millions and whatnot, there's huge potential in this industry. And I have no doubt that we're going to succeed and, you know, do all that kind of crazy stuff. But for me, you know, that's why I even went back to Mark and James, you know, to ask them, guys, like, y'all have done this stuff. You know? You guys are successful and whatnot.
At the dining room table?
No, man, over the phone.
No, I'm saying that's how they started the agency.
Yeah. You're bringing back another story.
We're all talking about that story.
No, that's how they started Promise. Was just the diner. They had like a few clients.
Yes, I remember those Evershades.
Yes, Evershades.
Elliot.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
And like all those photo shoots were done at their place and stuff.
Exactly.
Cool.
Yes. Yeah, I got exposed to all that stuff, you know. The photo shoots when we shot food. Yeah. That for me was just mind blowing, you know, like, is this how food, you know, gets shot, you know, and you see it you know, in restaurants and whatnot, or, you know, Jurotrans, those, remember those things, you know.
With steers. Like photoshopping and cloning out like sesame seeds, the ones that were like off the bun.
Dude, that I think was mild. The thing that was worse for me was having to crop pieces of fucking chicken.
Oh yes.
It's like
because you're salivating, you're like deep etching this, like
you have to deep etch. It's
barbecue
like,
chicken, and you have to add it to the comp, and you're like
and it looks lame. It's like this is not natural because they'd have different specials, but they can't shoot for the different specials.
Oh, so you have to mush it together. And it works, and hopefully the angles match and the lighting.
Yes, exactly.
And they never did.
I've seen some random chicken pieces in a layout. That chicken was not shot there. The angle's like this, and the burger's like this.
And you add a drop shadow to
it was
horrible. But anyway, it was great learnings for me, you know.
I'll say that about Mark is that like the level of craft.
Yes.
Walking out there, before I walked in there, I didn't know what craft meant.
Same.
I was like,
Same.
I've never heard of this craft. I thought like,
Same.
you know, just cutting out pieces of paper and folding them together.
Yeah.
He was like, he taught me craft and meticulous detail and like pixel perfect.
Yeah. Putting love into your work.
And before you even show him a layout, you're like running it past 3 different people, and you're like, and you would still find something, and you'd be like, I missed that thing.
Damn it.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So the thing with Mark, it got to a point where it felt like he was like a bit of a kung fu teacher, where he wouldn't tell you. He would just be like, go and do another revert or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was good because you upped your game and you were like, let me try this, and you were second guessing, and he was like, don't second guess. He's like, just do the thing that you like.
Just do the thing, yeah.
And that's what it felt like. It felt like the Shaolin master of just, he's like, just putting these things in and like seeing if you get it right.
Yeah.
But then it got to a point where I was like, I don't know what's going on now. and the one thing that stumped me, he was looking at my layout and he was fretting, and then his favorite thing was like, do you mind if I sit here? Can I sit here? When he said, can I sit here? Then you knew it was business.
Yeah.
Then you're like, okay, like I've tried everything.
You've legit
Then
tried
you stand
everything.
up, and then usually he would solve it in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
He'd be like, cool, I've crafted this thing.
Yeah.
And he would use grids, but then he would shift things off grid, and you were like, that was like mind blowing for me.
Yeah.
And just do it by eye kind of thing. Anyways, so there was this one time he sat down and he was there for half an hour. He was just, and then I knew. And then he got up and then he was like, listen, you're just gonna have to sort this out. And then I was like, okay. I was like, what do you want me to do? And then he said to me, it's just lacking a little bit of. And then he did this gesture. This gesture.
What does this mean?
It needs a little bit of.
So it wasn't even a thing that he said. It's lacking. He was like, it's lacking a bit of. And he's like, anyways, I gotta go.
Yeah.
I gotta go.
Bye. Gotta go. Bye.
I was like, do you realize it's 11 p.m.?
Yeah. And you don't have the answers that you need. And like it's like
you just need to find out whatever this is.
Mark, I've got kids at home that I need to go to. No, I don't have kids.
No, you see, that's it. In college, they teach you how to do pretty pictures.
Well, so you mentioned that, like, things that creatives don't learn, and that goes back to what you were saying earlier, is things like how to resign.
Yes.
How to go for an interview.
How to negotiate.
How to negotiate.
Yes.
Tax. So you mentioned like you resigned and you didn't have another job.
Yeah.
And then like I tell my accountant friends, they're like, what are you, an idiot? Do you know what I mean? So they're like, you didn't have a job secured, it wasn't in writing?
Yeah.
I'd be like, no, but they said.
100%, guys.
Or
They
we
don't
moved for
teach us
study.
this
I've
stuff.
moved for like $1,000 or $500.
And you think it's a
And
good
I've done
deal.
it.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
You speak to your accountant friend, let me do a projection for you, right? with inflation and interest. And then you're like,
no, you're in a higher tax bracket, so you actually walk out with less. You're like, what the fuck? I just got a promotion.
Dude, they don't tell us
I'm
this
learning
stuff.
this.
That's
Yeah.
the stuff that I wish that, colleges and art colleges and whatnot would start teaching.
yes.
Like I've been fortunate enough, like right now, like to have a boss that teaches us stuff. Like, dude, we hardly talk about work with my boss. Like, he joined after my initial boss, which was
Another story for another podcast.
Yeah, another podcast. We don't even need to go into there.
It'll be for the B-side, as they say.
Bonus track.
Bonus track.
The ones that I'll never ever like.
But anyway, when he came through to the department, like even before he joined, he would come to our section, like corporate, you have these cubicles and all that. Fortunately for me, when I joined, because they hired me after 6 months or whatnot. So the place I went for an interview to and the place I worked at, was different because they reshuffled. Someone in the team was like, no guys, we creatives, you know, we're designers, we can't be in cubicles and stuff like that. And I'm glad she did that.
Yeah.
So when I rocked up, you know, we would collaborate and all that kind of stuff. So my current boss would come through. Oh yeah, he's a co-founder of Darling Brew.
Nice.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Shout out to Darling Brew.
Dude.
We should have had some darlings right here.
Yeah, instead of
next
just
time.
water and lemon that we
Dude.
drink. So Darling Brew.
Darling Brew.
So Darling Brew.
Darling Brew.
So Darling Brew.
Darling Brew. So he used to come through like to our section and be like, how's it going, guys? We're like, yeah, we good. And he's like, I've got a freelance gig. Is anyone keen? And we were so scared of like the boss at the time. That guy accused me of freelancing while I was looking at inspiration, you know, on Pinterest.
AKA just doing your normal job.
Just doing my
as a designer.
Yeah, he called my manager.
AKA getting by.
And this is like week 2 of the job. And he calls my manager to the side. He's like, talk to your boy. Why is he freelancing here and whatnot at work?
So I'm on
And
Pinterest.
I'm like, dude, why would I do that? Like why?
Yeah.
You know? Why would you freelance at a new
Yeah.
job? You know, it's someone else's time. They pay you for, you know, their work type of thing. You know, it would be disrespectful. It's a new job, first and foremost.
Yeah, you want to get into it.
I mean, you know, but anyway.
So what project was it that you were freelancing on?
No, dude. It was actually the Christmas campaign, the festive campaign. You know? But anyway, so the guy's like, I know you guys are scared of your current boss. You're not going to get into trouble. Trust me. Type thing. And then we were all like, nah, fam.
I don't want a piece of that.
Nah, fam, I'm good. And then cool, guy resigned. Then he became our boss.
Cool.
And then the first day, he was like, okay, firstly, hello, fuckers.
Straight up.
Already started.
Yeah.
Just in case you thought.
Yeah. He's like, my name is whoever. And then he just started writing on the board type of thing, you know.
Hello, fuckers.
Yeah, something along those lines. I'm Carlos. Hi, fuckers, type of thing. You know? And then
I'm a
he's
fellow
like,
fucker.
and then he's like, first and foremost, I'd like to get one thing clear. You guys are not my employees. You're my business partners, type of thing. You know.
Nice.
And we're like, okay, this is weird. And then he's like, I want to talk a little bit about time, you know, and your time. This was before, I think a year before Corona and all that kind of stuff, you know. And he's like, I want to stress the importance of time. You need to respect your time, you know. This thing of working the whole 8 hours is a no-no. Nobody in this world can concentrate for 8 hours straight, you know.
8 hours.
yeah.
Nobody.
18 he means, right?
Yeah. Of the 24.
Yeah.
Yeah, the time that you're at work, half of it you're not productive. You're not doing anything.
It's true. You're on Facebook.
Yeah. So
What
why
are
are
you
you
doing?
there?
Superbalist.
Exactly. So he's like, so why are you here? You know, if your mind is wandering, you know, book out your calendar to say, at this time I'm not available. You know?
Meditation.
Yeah, exact 100% in those words.
Yoga.
In those words,
Oh.
coffee. You know, book it out so that when the marketers or whoever comes through with a brief, they see that, oh, Kholi's booked out his time, type of thing.
He's crocheting.
Exactly, and book out time every day to do nothing.
Really?
That's the
revolutionary.
boss,
And
bro.
that's in corporate.
In corporate,
That's wild.
like, you know, I'm not sure. I don't care that you are here sitting down working. Yeah. He has never even checked my work. Like, you know, like no one sits, you know, on my shoulder and checks my work. As long as it's right, you know, and we're pushing and the ideas are good, present it to him once. Yeah, I'll just make a couple of changes there, you know. But he stressed the importance of also booking out a day during the week where you're working from home, type of thing.
So when was the last time you alt-tabbed? When someone was walking near your computer?
Dude, that has happened.
That alt-tab.
No, actually, it happened to a friend of mine. I'll tell you the story.
Okay.
It's a wild one. It's a wild one. But anyway, so yeah, he was stressing that. And like, we need to take turns. Every week, Ryan, you're booking a day, you're working from home. Type of thing.
Sweet. I'm in.
Yeah. We starting that system type of thing.
Cool, man.
And that was before the whole Corona thing, you know.
Before we
And
were forced to.
yeah, and he was pushing it hard. Like when he looks at our timesheets, he's like, guys, you can't be putting 45 or 50 hours per week, you know, into work time.
Which is such a weird mindset because there's like
It is.
creatives from an agency
Yes.
like put more hours.
Put more hours.
Put more hours.
Exactly.
I know you said 60 hours on the show, but just make it 80.
Yeah,
We've all had those
exactly.
conversations.
100%,
Wow.
you know, and half the time you're not inspired, you know, you're just hoying because you have to, you know, like I was saying earlier, I don't like to work when I have to work. I like to work when I want to work because then I'm Superman. I've tapped into another space altogether, type of thing, and I produce magic.
Inspiration.
Exactly, you know, and he was just stressing that, like preaching it, like, Kholi, you're not taking your day this week, type of thing, you know. Why aren't you taking your day to work from home?
Crazy, man.
You know, so he championed that whole thing, and everyone thought he was mad, you know, because that's quite a mind shift, you know. We still into the whole macro management thing, you know. We still sort of institutionalized, in a sense, you know, and we trained to wake up, go to work, get stuck in traffic, you know, all that nonsense.
Rat racy
type of thing, you know. And he's like, you're spending 2 hours on traffic, you know. You could have spent that 2 hours at home in your garden, you know,
With your family.
with your family. Yeah. So he kept on preaching that, and then boom, everyone was like, no, you're mad. You know, everyone was, you know, scared. And no, you guys, you UX guys, you're always knocking off early. You're always taking days off and, you know, things like that and wada. And then we would say like, yeah, that's true. But has anything fell through?
That's the thing, when you give people enough like autonomy,
Yeah,
they'll provide.
exactly. We have never missed a deadline, you know, with that system. You know, everything still runs and it works. And then you start questioning, why are we doing things this way? Why do you have to get stuck in traffic every day going to work? Whereas you can work from home, you know. He was also stressing, set up your home office, you know. Make sure you've got good internet so that it gives you a case that you can work from home. Type of thing. Make sure that you can build an argument to say, no, but why must I come in if I'm attending all of my meetings, you know, I'm doing all of my work, type of thing. So what's the point? You know, of like, you know, you need to think. And he gives us like career advice as well. Like he actually tells us how to resign and things like that.
See, that's the thing.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he teaches us that stuff, how to negotiate, you know. Like he's not a person that if I say, dude, I'm resigning, he's going to be like, no, but he's going to be like, dude, congratulations, dude.
Well, let's
but
have a conversation.
Let's have a conversation. Let's see what's on the table, you know, and he can show you stuff and this and that. So I really appreciate that. And he's almost 50 type of thing, you know. And then, boom, Corona came. It was a normal way of living.
Yeah.
And he didn't even say,
I told you so.
I'd hate to say I told you so.
Yeah.
No.
He was just like, cool, we said no.
Yeah, you know. And he decided, look, we're going to get rid of our space, you know. So the nice thing about corporate is that I can work anywhere. Like I can work at a branch if I want, type of thing, you know. I don't have to go to the main head office. You know. I can work in Roodepoort if I want.
Yeah.
You know. That's actually where the UX thing is.
All your credentials are the same. They'll pick it up.
Same access card. Call it a student card because it's like, fuck. We're back here
back
now.
in the day. Yeah.
You know, anywhere, park anywhere, can go to Santon. Wherever I see the logo, I can go there and just produce my card. I need a space to work, you know. They'll give me hot desking and all that kind of stuff. You know, and I just work. And then I just leave whenever.
That's so sweet.
Type thing. As long as the work is done. He's like, I don't care if you do the work under a tree. Yeah. You know, as long as the work is done and it's quality. And also one thing you must realize, go the extra mile. Don't go the extra 10 miles. Anything else after that is a waste. You know,
which is also opposite to advertising thinking, where
I
it's
was
like craft.
But it also seems like it's weird coming from a corporate that's so future forward.
Yeah.
Whereas you assume that the agency you work with is like on the cutting edge of like what's new and what's next. And like you look at, I mean, you always look at those offices like Google offices and those things. And before, like creative agencies were crazy and they had ball pits and
Yeah.
fucking I don't know,
Lego on their
trampolines.
walls and
Exactly. It's funny. That was
Yeah.
you assume corporate is like a little bit more stale and like, you know.
Yeah,
it's a crazy thing where
yeah.
how are corporates more future ready than agencies?
Yeah,
agencies are supposed to be crazy. And
it's like the nice thing I like about it is that it's one big community type thing, and we have to do stuff. We do stuff, like we do a lot of stuff. There's a lot of seminars. There's a lot of financial education. There's a lot of workshops, and you know, at different places we get invited to different campuses. You know, and I like that whole thing because I get exposed to a lot of people and a lot of ways of doing things differently, type of thing. You know, whereas been stuck in a hole. You know, working, grinding the hours away at night.
You're not doing a great job of unselling corporate.
So it's kind of like the moment you realized you were in advertising. So for instance, like seeing like Zach walk through the door, that's like a definitely an advertising guy.
Yeah.
You go to Rosebank Mall like on New Year's Day and you see this guy, you know, on his bicycle, no shirts. And he's like, hey, what's up? And then he like does his thing. And then you realize I'm not in accounting or law or like this is advertising. Because for me, like I got into advertising, I thought it was just going to be not super rock star, but also not super corporate. So that's why I got into it. I was like, I'm not going to be like at these like, you know, Grammys or like Oscars and whatever. But I'm also not going to be like in a, you know, like a law firm, just being an admin clerk. So I was like, it's a bit of both, you know?
I can tell you when I realized, like when I fully got the experience, because I wasn't necessarily from an advertising background. Like the stuff that I did at my first job was quite corporate-y still, you know, and whatnot. But anyway, and it was just work. That was my life. But when I went to agencies, there were things like lorries and things like that, you know. And that's when I first got a taste of, you know, the advertising lifestyle and space. You know, I was like, oh, lorries are like this. You know, this is what it's about, type of thing. So I was sharing a room with my creative director and whatnot at the time. It was so funny. So there was a party at the beach. I think it was they were held in Durban.
Oh, Margate, yeah.
Yeah. So there was a party at the beach, right? And we were wilding, hey, like going crazy. Like the lorries were like the following day, so it was like the evening before. Yeah, so just like exploring the place, Ubering everywhere.
Was it the Velocity party or something? Oh no, the official lorries party, or was like a production party?
No, it was before the lorries party.
Like a Thursday night.
Yes, yes. We rocked up a day earlier, type of thing.
Pre-game.
So we went to this party at the beach. Yo, dude, I don't know who was hosting it. But anyway, we were going crazy. So I got drunk. And then I told my creative director, I'm like, yo, dude, it's late. Should we head back to the hotel, type of thing, you know? And everyone is like, yeah, that's cool. Let's do that. And then I'm like, okay, cool. Follow me. The hotel is that way. But I was pointing to the ocean.
I'm having flashbacks.
Like my CD will never forget that stuff, type of thing, you know. And it's just the relationship, like the people that I've been working for and working with, and maintaining those relationships.
Yes.
It's important, man. There's so many jobs I've gotten just off relationships. Like somebody will recommend me years later, right? Like an agency I've worked at, and they go,
hundreds.
Oh, Jacque is dope. It's like
hundreds.
You need to maintain those relationships.
Yeah.
You can't burn bridges in advertising. There's only so many bridges.
In fact, you can't burn bridges anywhere. Let me tell you what happened to a colleague of mine. So their boss was very hectic. Very, very hectic. I would say, I don't want to say a horrible person, but a misguided person. I don't believe anyone is horrible.
Despicable person.
Yeah, I just feel, I don't know, they've got whatever they have. But I don't believe that anyone is genuinely horrible.
Yeah.
But anyway, this lady is this guy's boss. This guy resigns to go to another department, right? And when he left, there was friction between them, you know, like it wasn't lacquer type of thing, you know. Cool. Now, a year or something later, or a couple of months later, this lady resigns from our department to become head of the department that guy went to. So you see the importance of good relationships and being pleasant type of thing. You can come back. You know, I could ask, some of the people I've worked with, like, hey guys, it's rough. I'm unemployed. You know, is there something that I can help out with?
Yeah, exactly.
Is there freelance gigs? Even till today, they charge an arm and a leg for creative direction, but I get it for free. Just by sending them stuff and being keen on some, like, hey dude, check this thing out. I just send it. I don't care, and I send to a lot of people type of thing. And it's like, I welcome the feedback.
That's cool.
And I welcome the fact that, hey, we can have a chat about money type of thing. And you guys can educate me about hiring people. How do you hire people? Like, I've had to hire people and it became like a nightmare type thing. But then, like,
some came badly recommended from good friends.
I'm not gonna go into that. I'm not gonna go into that. Like, anyway, but you can ask questions like that, questions that you couldn't ask as an employee type of thing, or you could. Actually, I asked, dude, I don't care, and I like speaking to people on their level, like the exco members at work. I speak to them like they're my friends, type of thing, because at least when you start at the top, all these little ones at the bottom, the ones that make a noise, it doesn't really matter, type of thing, because you went to the heads and you speak to them at their level, type of thing, and you start creating more relationships. Just go to the head, sir. I'm interested in this. What are your thoughts? Type of thing. Speak to them. Like, a friend of mine taught me that. At the previous agency, he would go to our bosses and sit down and be like, hey, how's your weekend, bruh? Like they're friends type of thing. And that sort of taught me to break a lot of barriers and, like, oh, that's the power of tippy toe. Nah, man. I go to you, I say, dude, you dropped whatever, and I call you dude type of thing, and we chat. And it's funny when you yourself, people open up, dude. They open up. They tell you stuff that, like, you get answers to questions that you never asked, type of thing, for free. That's how I keep going. That's my fuel.
You've obviously, sorry man, just
sure.
You've obviously learned a lot from your time in the industry, and it looks, and it sounds like you've kind of found yourself some mentorship. But I feel like there's not a lot of mentorship that actually happens in agencies.
Yes.
There's a guy that'll sit behind your computer and tell you why your typeface is wrong or why the spacing is out. I don't find there's like those soft skills that, like, nobody mentors you in. Like, and now you're talking about, like, how to hire people and, like, how to resign and that sort of thing. So I don't know. Is there advice you have? Like, is the advice to go and find a mentor and, like, be almost annoying in the fact that you, like, need advice from this person, or is it you kind of just stay back and learn quietly?
I think importantly is to stay curious. If you see a figure that you can learn stuff from, approach that person, talk to that person, start speaking to those people that are going to teach you stuff. We've got limited time in the industry, our careers are short and whatnot. Why waste time talking to people that are not going to add value to your life, or your career type of thing, or people with bad energies type of thing, collaborate, be hungry, ask questions, try stuff, do something that you don't necessarily do every day type of thing. The other day I painted the house inside, the whole flipping interior type of thing. Like, it's something that I don't do because I'm always here type of thing. And I learned stuff, Be curious, do whatever. Like, I take my camera to the garden. I don't know what I'm going to find there type of thing. But I found some stuff the other day. I'll share it with you guys and whatnot,
But is that like a creative release for you, or is it just kind of...
Yeah, it's like, I like making stuff and immediately, I don't want to think about it too long, or, because you feel inspired right now. Later on, after 2 hours, you're not. So when it kicks you now, that's why I can grab the camera, when I'm with my friends, we're chilling, we're drinking. Grab the camera, shoot right then and there. Give him his pictures. Like, I've got Lightroom on my phone.
Oh,
done.
Done.
Yeah, I mean, like, I agree with that. It's kind of like, when you're doing things in your personal capacity, you're not like thinking of budget constraints.
Yes.
Will it go through first creative review or anything? You just
100%.
grab what you have. If you just have your cell phone and it's on 10% battery, you're like, guys, we've got 3 minutes.
All we have.
Let's go.
Yeah.
You know, the sun's
100%.
going down and all the shit's happening. You're like, let's make it happen.
And you know, a nice thing about having short time, that's why, like, dude, I hope my older people or my employers or whatever the case may be, no, actually they would agree with me.
Fuck it. You know it already.
Fuck it. I would prepare 30 minutes before a presentation because I know in that 30 minutes I'm gonna think. I don't have a choice. You know, there's like fire under my bum type
Time
of
constraints,
thing. Yeah, like you need to hoy every second. You don't waste anything. You don't go on your phone. You don't, you know, you're there in the moment and you're hoying stuff, you know. And it's magic what comes out type of thing. So yeah, I'm that type of person that often lazy, like very lazy dude. Like, dude, like, yeah, but when I'm in the zone.
When the inspiration hits you.
Dude, it feels like I'm not even working.
Yeah.
Type of thing, you know.
So, okay, speaking of hoying things, like what are you hoying right now?
So.
Hoying, for everyone that doesn't know, is doing.
Okay. Cool.
Throwing. Really.
Well, throwing, yeah. What are you throwing out right now?
What are you throwing out into the world?
So, I got an opportunity to do lettering, letters for kids, educational piece, educational, flashcards and whatnot. So cool. It was just like do basic things. The examples were basic. You know? It's just the normal 1, normal 2, whatever. So then I said to client, listen, dude, why don't we? Because this is learning material, why don't we make this exciting? Type of thing. Who says learning has to be boring? Type of thing, you know. Let it be exciting. And so, you know, I got a lot of ideas, you know, and I just hoyed for the longest time. Like there was a point where I was like, yo, I'm really exhausted here, you know. But after doing a whole lot I did more than 100 illustrations, 150 illustrations, whatever the case may be. But then, since I've started doing video and whatnot, I was like, hey, let me try out these illustrations with music, you know, maybe with my logo, just do a lot of self-promotion type thing. So now I'm working on a project. I want to do 10 tracks. I don't know if I'm going to drop them all at the same time, or I'm going to drop them like on a daily type of thing, you know. But the problem is I have to do 20 in order to get 10 decent ones. You know, I just wanna I usually hoy quick upload. No, this time I want to take my time. And actually craft it. And actually the other day I crafted something that I think is pretty cool. You guys will have a look at it and you'll decide for yourselves and whatnot. Yeah. But yeah, that's the project I'm currently doing while I'm waiting for the bigger project. You know, it's that chill time and I'm not complaining. Because when the work comes in. And when you're in that zone, like it can be long. You know, it can take a toll on your mental type thing, you know, and it can stretch you. So I'm like, I'm cool right now. Like it's fine, you know. So let me do personal projects. Let me push myself as a freelancer or an artist, you know, push. And who knows, the videos might reach the right people. Type thing.
Man. Well, how can people check you out? It's just your
Instagram.
What's your handle?
Kholisile Zwane, I think.
Done. At Kholisile Zwane.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I'm busy with personal project, funding them if I need to, you know. But yeah, I'm in the zone right now, and it's hectic. I can't even watch or play video games for like half an hour because once I sit there with the joypad, an idea comes, or I think of a beat, you know, hoy in Premiere, start with a blank slate. You know, I've got a lot of rejected work, you know, that I can reuse. Lost tapes, lots of them.
So you're making beats now as well?
No, I'm just taking whatever beats that I like.
Well, I mean, just plugging the void.
Beats.
Nice, yeah. I've got Epidemic Sound, that accounts and whatnot. You know? Cool. And they have nice beats, dude. Like from day one, you know, like they understand it's kind of like they understand my work type of thing, you know.
Without even meaning to.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, they get the feeling, you know. So yeah.
They designed it especially for you, bro.
For me, bro. Basically.
Yeah.
Just for me. But anyway, to cut a long story short, I'm doing personal projects. I've got this idea of doing beats and graphics that make people feel good. That's it.
Cool, man.
That's it. And whatever comes from that, you know.
Off-brief collab.
Yeah, we should. We should.
Nice.
I want to show you some stuff. We're actually collabing and you don't know.
We'll take it offline. That's my favorite phrase. Let's take this offline.
Actually,
it either means you fucked up, someone fucked up, let's take this offline, or it means like I want to talk some shit about someone.
Yeah. No, the latter.
No. In this case, I've got some changes.
There you go. Reverts, my words.
I've got
bro.
reverts. Just
PTSD.
one revert. Just one. That's it. But yeah, that's basically it.
Sweet.
Yeah. Excited. I'm excited. It's a lot of work, but I'm very excited, and I hope people enjoy it.
Yeah.
Type of thing. I'm all about the feeling. I'm in the business of selling feelings, dude. That's it.
One last question
Yes.
based on feelings.
Yes.
The colouring in book.
Yes.
Like, what's happening with that? How's it been going?
So the coloring book was pretty good.
Yeah.
It's going very well. I didn't expect it to go as well as it's going. There's been a lot of interviews, radio, YFM.
These guys Bleed got in contact with you.
What's
You
the
know what I
premise of
mean?
the coloring book? What is the...
So basically it's 27 illustrations, different tribes across Africa.
Oh,
Yes. So I've come across a lot of tribes I did not know existed, type of thing, you know.
Nice.
And that kind of sparked my interest with Africa, you know, and you know the magic that's there. You know, as I was saying earlier, my sister's a Sangoma, my brother's a Sangoma, and you know, ever since they've gone on their journeys, I've gotten quite unique artwork, you know, and quite unique photos that you don't necessarily see, you know, here and there and whatnot, you know. And yeah, so this whole Africa thing was inspired by that book because I did a lot of research, you know. I met a lot of, like, I came across a lot of tribes, you know, like the Himba people. Yeah. I did not know about the Himba people, the Afar people, up Africa type of thing, you know, the Ethiopian tribes, you know. I'm currently learning Chichewa, you know, a friend of mine is from Malawi and whatnot, you know, and my other mentor as well is from Kenya, you know, so I'm interested in Africa. Like the book, to go back to the book is going international now. Has gone international rather. Yeah. We've got a bookstore that purchased a lot of copies in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
In Amsterdam and whatnot.
Sweet.
Yeah, there's an appetite. So there's a bookstore in the US. There's something in Canada, and London as well. So I just want to start chatting to like your Andrews and find out what's the scene in Italy. Would they have like an appetite for this thing? No, sorry, man. Karen.
Yeah.
Not Druza. Druza's in London.
Yeah.
Which we already doing stuff there.
Sweet.
Nice. But yeah, so yeah, it's like the reception has been great, and you know, quite a bit of money has been generated. Not necessarily going into our pockets, but like in terms of running a system and a business. Yeah. You know, getting stuff printed. I mean, printing is not cheap.
Yeah, for sure.
Is there a digital version though?
No, there's no digital version yet. So the idea is just to get kids coloring in, and with pencils, like old school type.
Yeah. Not like on iPad, just with your finger.
Yeah,
What's the point, right?
No, but then even that is cool to a certain degree. It's the future type of thing, you know. I always listen to what's happening. Keep your ground on the ear. Like, where's the wind going? You know, in terms of direction. Where's the stream going? I always like swimming downstream, dude. I don't like swimming upstream. I'm lazy, like
Me
I
too,
said.
brother.
Like I said, I'm lazy, bro. You know, so if it's digital, if it has to be in a digital space, then for sure, you know, I will gladly grab it with open arms.
Yeah.
So now we're working. I need to start illustrating the second one, the second version of the book. So I'm still thinking.
It's nice, bro.
Yeah, getting the tribes again. Dude, it's so insane. Africa has so many tribes, bro.
Yeah.
You can make a whole book from just one country.
Yeah.
You know. because there's so much culture and so many different things. It's crazy, man.
What is that process like? Do you start off with pencil on paper, or do you go straight into your iPad and you?
So okay, research firstly.
Okay.
And my what's this, like ideas and whatnot, images, you know, the images. Like I start with the foundation, which is file systems. You know, that's my process. Like I start
New folder. Name
Name it.
Me too, bro.
Although I'm sorry, but my machine doesn't look like that currently.
No.
But anyway, that's where
why
I
you
start.
hit like an underscore or a star, so it goes right to the top.
Yeah. Or I mark it, you know.
Label.
I mark it with the color or whatever. But anyway, that's what I start with, and then I get different poses and things like that, you know, different hair and whatnot, and then I start making brushes. Yeah. And I start making brushes, like hair brushes, like braids. No.
Oh.
I use Affinity.
Affinity.
Yes, it understands. It gets me. It
Again,
really,
designed specifically for you.
Dude, iPad and Affinity, bruh. I'm gone, bruh.
Okay.
But anyway, it does things that Illustrator is a little bit frustrating to do type of thing. But obviously, every program has its frustrations. Yeah. But I prefer Affinity because in terms of like vector work and illustrations, I haven't seen anything that matches it type of thing. Like Illustrator needs to do a bit of catching up type of thing. You know, and I can do things quickly, like, you know, an idea, see if it works immediately, you know, type of thing, and then send it to my computer, animate it immediately. It's just, you know. But anyway, yeah, that's the process. References, then I start sketching and, you know, putting together the poses and the faces and the shapes and looking for the facial features and the hair and the this and the that. It's like a 3-month process.
Sweet.
But I think now I've gotten a lot quicker, so I don't think it's going to be that long.
Alright, well thanks, man.
Cool, thanks guys.
Sweet, bro.
This was really good.
You're coming back again, right?
Hell yeah. And hopefully with more stories. And stuff.
Bro, there's too many stories.
Yeah, the session is not enough.
Yeah, exactly.
To cram in a whole 10-year career.
We'll do a mini documentary.
Yeah, hundreds, guys. Just hit me up anytime. Yeah.
That's it, bro.
Cool.
Nice.
Thank you.
Bro.